Hey guys, welcome again. I hope God has protected you. We are continuing to read this nice story of Ruth. And I would request that you subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, share and comment. And today we are going to read Ruth chapter 3, verses number 1. Then Naomi, her mother-in-law, said to her, this is now Ruth. Naomi is mother-in-law to Ruth. Then Naomi, her mother-in-law, said to her, "My daughter, shall I not seek security for you, that it may be well with you?" This is a caring mother-in-law. Now Boaz, whose young women you are with, is he not our relative? In fact, he is winnowing barley tonight at the threshing floor. Therefore, wash yourself. Let's hear. Therefore, wash yourself and anoint yourself. Put on your best garment and go down to the threshing floor. But do not make yourself known to the man until he has finished eating and drinking. This mother-in-law, she has started doing things. She has started doing things. Then it shall be when he lies down that you shall notice the place where he lies, and you shall go in and cover his feet and lie down, and he'll tell you what you should do. And she said to her, "All that you said to me, I will do." That is chapter number 5, verse number 5. And guys, what is this that Naomi is trying to tell Ruth? Once again, Naomi returned to the subject of security or rest, which she addressed in chapter number 1, verse 9. In the first instance, she had asked God to provide her daughter-in-law the rest, coming to rest, of marriage. Now, she was determined to seek this rest for Ruth. This mother-in-law was determined because she was a good daughter-in-law. The threshing floor was located in a public place. There, animals would trample the husks in order to separate the grain. Then the mixture would be tossed in the air so the wind would blow away the chaff. Boaz had to stay the night to guard his grain from thieves. And now Ruth is telling, okay, let's continue reading. So, this lady, the mother-in-law Naomi to Ruth, tells her to wear her best garment. Let's see why. This probably referred to an outer garment that Ruth wore to keep warm in the night. Okay, eating and drinking festivities accompanied the end of the harvest. So it was the end of the harvest now. So, when she tells Ruth to go and uncover the feet of Boaz, what does that mean? Ruth would remove the edge of Boaz's outer garment from his feet and lie down by his uncovered feet. Holding his feet was an act of submission. Oh, can you imagine? You're going to somebody's bed and uncovering his feet and lying there. Hey, what about if you thought other things? Anyway, this was a daring and dramatic action that would call for a decision on his part to be her protector and likely her husband. So it was a way that Ruth was trying to do, to try and Okay, let's continue reading. That was the explanation of the elaboration that we were checking on. We are still in verse number 5. And she said to her, number 6. So she went down to the threshing floor and did according to all that her mother-in-law had instructed her. And after Boaz had eaten and drunk, and his heart was cheerful, he went to lie down at the head of the heap of grain. And she came softly and covered his feet and lay down. She did exactly what the mother-in-law had told her. Now it happened at midnight that the man was startled and turned himself, and there a woman was lying at his feet. There was a woman at his feet, and he said, "Who are you?" So she answered, "I am Ruth, your maidservant. Take your maidservant under your wing, for you are a close relative." Hey, this girl is no joke. She has started throwing mysteries here. Then he said, "Blessed are you of the Lord, my daughter, for you have shown more kindness at the end than at the beginning, in that you did not go after young men, whether poor or rich, And now, my daughter, do not fear. I will do for you all that you request, for all the people of my town know that you are a virtuous woman, a virtuous woman. Now, it is true that I am a close relative. However, there is a relative closer than I. Stay this night, and in the morning it shall be. Hey, let's see what will happen in the morning. In the morning it shall be that if he will not perform the duty of a close relative for you, good, let him do it. But if he does not want to perform the duty for you, then I will perform the duty for you. As the Lord lives, lie down until morning. Hey, who is this cross relative? Who was he? I have to consult here. Let me consult. Allow me to just consult. Allow me to just consult. Who is this close relative? The suspense in the narrative increases when Boaz announces that there is a relative closer than he. The nearest relative would have the opportunity to carry out that responsibility first. And what responsibility is this? Let us go back to 11. Boaz understood that Ruth was making a marriage proposal. Oh, and praised her for not seeking younger men to marry. Boaz already understood that it was a marriage proposal that was being made here by Ruth. So, it was a marriage proposal, and praised her for not seeking younger men to marry. He knew that Ruth's initiative was in keeping with the law. A levirate marriage would provide her deceased husband with an heir. In the ancient Middle East, not having an heir was considered a tragedy for the family. The particular kindness that Boaz spoke of was Ruth's loyal love towards Naomi in choosing to remain with her even though she faced poverty. A virtuous woman, high praise of Boaz shows that Ruth, as a godly woman, had not compromised herself. So we have seen the suspense in the narrative increases when Boaz announces that there is a relative closer than he. The nearest relative would have the opportunity to carry out that responsibility of marrying Ruth. Boaz wanted to take immediate responsibility for Ruth and Naomi, so he asked her to stay with him, so she would not be exposed to any danger by returning to her home in the middle of the night. The statement, as the Lord lives, reinforces the resolve of Boaz to take responsibility for Ruth. Hey, so let's continue reading now. Verse number 14. We had escaped the reading to understand who is this closer relative. So she lay at his feet until morning. She lay at his feet until morning, and she arose before one could recognize her. Then he said, "Do not let it be known that the woman came to the threshing floor." Let me understand here. Then he said, "Do not let it be known that the woman came to the threshing floor." Also he said, "Bring the shawl that is on you and hold it." And when she held it, he measured 6 ephahs of barley and laid it on her. Then she went into the city. Hey, what a blessing. When she came to her mother-in-law, she said, "Is that you, my daughter?" Then she told her all that the man had done for her. And she said, "These 6 ephahs of barley he gave me, for he said to me, 'Do not go empty-handed to your mother-in-law.'" Blessings are sprinkling even to the mother-in-law. Then she said, "Sit still, my daughter, until you know who the matter will turn out." Sit still, my daughter, until you know how the matter will turn out, for the man will not rest until he has concluded the matter this day. Then she said to her, "Sit still, my daughter, until you know how the matter will turn out, for the man will not rest until he has concluded the matter this day." Hey, we are gonna continue reading this story, and I think we are feeling, like the Holy Spirit of God is speaking to us and showing us what kindness would yield and what loyalty also yields when you are loyal to somebody. Ruth was loyal to Naomi, and the love that she had for the mother-in-law was Great. So, before one could recognize another, Ruth left at early dawn in order to avoid anyone who might recognize her. Boaz probably did not want anyone to misconstrue what had taken place. Again, Boaz demonstrated royal love or kindness by his gift of barley grain to Ruth and Naomi. That is kind. Uh, Naomi was confident that Boaz would see the matter through to its conclusion the same day. Boaz had repeatedly demonstrated that he was an upright and compassionate man by his continuing provision for the two women. May God deal kindly to us also when we have issues in this life, because may God order our steps so that we meet the Boazes of our lives, even as we trust Him in our day-to-day life. God bless you as you contemplate on continuing to read the book of Ruth. It is not a very long book. I think we are gonna read chapter number 4, which will be the last chapter. Oh my God. So may God bless you.